If I gave a fuck what y'all think I would be doing this? Welcome to the FMFU podcast, the podcast that's from me, for us. Vulgar but true, real and never fake. I'm your host, Reese, and I've got a lot of shit on my mind today, so let's get into it. How's it going today, people? I hope all is well and you're enjoying this fantastic Friday. I thought I would do something different this week and take some time to talk to y'all and drop a few updates. Things been pretty good with me. Well, besides the fact that the first snow has finally decided to hit us up here. And to be honest with you, I'm not fucking thrilled. We used to love getting snow when we were younger. You know, get lucky, maybe get some days off. You gotta worry about dealing with fucking teachers, whatever the case may be, have a snowball fight. But now that we're grown, I fucking hate it. It doesn't help anything. I mean, work will only call out if it's like super fuck, like them super blizzards that's scheduled to shut down the whole East Coast through the Midwest and the South and all that. But honestly, that's not even worth the risk because you might fuck around and get snowed in or starve or some shit. So it's only worth it for the snow unless you're in the South. But you know what's crazy is that snow blanketed from Houston, Texas, all the way to up where I'm at. Like, I was looking on Snap and like everybody was getting snow. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, that shit is crazy. Shit's nuts, right? But I will say that a little bit of snow does make it feel a little bit more like Christmas. Well, and also on top of the fact that my bank account is crying for the whole month of December. Throw a crying emoji in there. But December's a good month though. I've got the Ebony Gala tonight. So we're going to be getting on some real fly shit. Y'all probably see some pics on the gram. Probably some Snapchat action. Some drunk Reese shit. No Duce for me tonight, though. Duce almost got me in trouble last New Year's Eve. We're not going to get into that. Christmas, 10 days away. Like I said, December brings Christmas. Families getting together. And a big, long vacation for me. Yep. After the 21st, I'm fucking done, and I do not go back into that bitch until January 3rd. Fuck yeah. I did episode 4 last week, and like the very next day, somebody asked me, they was like, man, yo, bro, you know when the next one coming? And I had a couple people ask me that, so shit like that gets me very, very motivated. So, because I was at the house, I wasn't doing anything. I started working on episode 5 the same day. So, boom, this is it. And I've actually been sitting on this episode for some days, but you got to keep the consistency with the drops, right? Crazy how fast these 5 weeks is going. We're already in episode 5. But also, since we're doing updates, might as well drop another gem on y'all. I do plan to drop episode 6 next week. That'll be right before the Christmas holiday. And after that, I think I'll be on a hiatus from here for like a week or so. Don't miss me too much. I'll probably be talking crazy on Facebook or wherever else you follow me on. Or you can just replay these episodes. Keep playing them more, goddammit. That's what we need. But, yeah, I think I'm going to take the week off. Maybe, just use that to spend time with family. Enjoy my nice long vacation. And then kick things off for the new year. So 2018 is going to be a fun year, and I'm excited for everything that I'll be able to share with you all. And yeah, I've already said that before, so enough of that repeating myself shit. But okay, all right, yeah, enough sentimental. Fuck all that. Let's get into my thoughts of the day.
It's the FMFU podcast, bitch.
So I've got something that has been bothering me and it has reappeared a few times the past couple weeks, so I figured, fuck it, I'm addressing this shit. But before I get into exactly what it is, let's start from the very beginning. Let's start with Facebook. Facebook originally started as a social site of different networks where professionals who attend or attended colleges, worked for companies, partook in organizations, or lived in major cities were able to connect. At one point in time, and I could be mistaken, I don't think you could even get on Facebook without having like a college email or a corporate email that was registered and affiliated with Facebook as its own individual network. Facebook was basically LinkedIn before LinkedIn became a major thing. Eventually, there became a point where the networks didn't even matter anymore. Most people started hopping on there because MySpace was dying and they wanted to go to the new wave. People who got on were just anybody really. Whoever wanted to sign up. Broke niggas, basic bitches, ratchet hoes, whoever. Point is, the site turned into what it is today. Ratchet, motherfuckers beefing, airing people out over scissor weekend type nigga sharing shit. Plenty of GIFs. Did I mention memes? And people also just spewing info out their ass and have no damn clue what they're exactly talking about. So, some of the people who fall in these categories, spewing info out their ass and not knowing what they're talking about, and this is just at least in my case, are a lot of people that I know from back around my way, back in the big OH. Hence, when the big move to Facebook happened, we started migrating to Twitter, then Instagram, then Snap, probably just like most people did. But somewhere in the thick of things, I know I found myself back on Facebook actively. To get to my point, make a long story short, what has reappeared and bothered me is the fact that for some reason, I'm seeing motherfuckers try to downplay people who attend college and or move away from their hometown and never come back. Now, in my eyes, I would think most people would say, oh, you getting out. You get to see new things, learn new cultures, meet new people, make new connections. That's great. Apparently, there has been a couple of crab in a bucket ass niggas that feel that that shit is a waste of time. I keep seeing this narrative, and I even honestly saw it a few months ago. I think it was in like June. Something around the lines of people move away from their hometown because they can't make it where they're from. Moving doesn't guarantee anything will change. If you're really able to make it in life, you can make it anywhere. You ain't got to move away. Now let me ask you this. What kind of fucking fishbowl mentality bullshit sense does that make? So y'all trying to tell me that because someone moves away to go to college and moves to a new city, or even if they don't go to school, but they move to look for more opportunity or a better situation for their future, they took the easy way out? Again, what kind of fucking fishbowl mentality bullshit sense does that even make? You see, I mentioned fishbowl mentality twice, right? Let me explain that for you in case you don't understand. So, back about, I think 5 years ago, I read an article, and me and my best friend, we had this discussion on the phone about it, and it all started to make sense. We concluded that life gives lots of people a fishbowl mentality. Well, what's a fishbowl mentality? Well, a fishbowl mentality typically is when someone only knows their environment, and because of this, that sets a maximum of how much they can grow. That said person will never grow past how big their fishbowl is. Well, what do you mean by that? Like, are people growing in size? No. What I'm saying is there's a reason for this fishbowl mentality. There's a reason that it exists. There's a myth, and some articles online even claim to state it's true, that a goldfish only grows based on how big the environment is that it exists in. So, if the goldfish stays in a bowl, it can only grow a certain size while living in it. But if that goldfish happened to be out in the wild, it could grow a lot bigger and sometimes even change colors. Now, I'm no ichthyologist, but damn it, the theory makes sense in comparison to how the human mental works. So, excuse me, let's go back to my college bashers, as I'm going to call them. Now, I will admit, there are risks with anything, as nothing in life is guaranteed no matter what you do. So making a move doesn't guarantee success. But what bothers me when I see this online is I always feel like it's a shot because, well, shit, I went to fucking college away from home. I mean, my first career opportunity took me away from home after that. And hell, my second career opportunity still got me away from my hometown. So all those comments that I listed that people were stating above are just like boom, boom, boom. So when I see it, I don't give a shit. I comment on whatever post I see. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, just troll recent action. But most of the posts, typically, they're like dumbass memes like, oh, y'all keep working for the man. I'm going to make my own money. Or criticizing how y'all niggas in debt. Or some stupid shit like that. Like these chicks start selling Mary Kay products, or these niggas start hustling Black Power t-shirts and think they about to get Bill Gates rich. Yeah. Okay, OJ. Moving on. So, yeah, I comment on their shit. I'll say some shit like, not everyone goes in debt, or just because you work for a company or the man, as you call it, doesn't mean you aren't doing well for yourself. Then, long and behold, the comments come in. Shit, I knew somebody who worked at Walmart with a college degree and their manager only had a high school diploma. Or, shit, my cousin went to school and now he salt the fries at McDonald's. Well, let's examine how these two situations correlate. Both of those examples I just gave you said what? Better yet, let's put it this way and let me ask you this. Both of these situations are similar based on what? They're making their conclusion based on only what they have fucking seen. I spoke last week about how people see situations differently based on how they grew up, how they were raised, what they've seen in life, and shit. Now I would say even, where they're from. You catch my drift, right? But situations like this occur all the fucking time, and it's a real life problem. So from my two examples that I just spoke of, because the college bashers have only seen and heard the quote-unquote horror stories of a higher education, they downplay it like fuck. Now this is human nature for something like this to happen, but regardless, the shit needs to stop. I'm trying to show y'all the light here. Stay woke, but it just shows that your mentality is very small-minded and you can't look at the bigger picture. Probably even more small-minded than the so-called people who can't make it where they're from and will forever be in debt by going to college. So let's look back to my examples and break it down. Hypothetically, let's say, for example, one, the person working at Walmart with the high school diploma having supervisor was only working there temporarily because they had different plans in life. Maybe they wanted to change their major and pursue a different career path after they graduated college. So because of that decision, they had to work at Walmart while attending school for a new degree at the same damn time. Say, for example, too, the cousin who works at McDonald's, one hooking up your fries with the salt. Let's say he never actually finished school, and that cousin never informed your ass that that was the case. The only thing you had in your mind is that he went to college and accumulated debt and now works at McDonald's as the salt shaker. My issue with the mental in the world is that people come to conclusion based on half the facts. It's based only on what they see in their living area, what they see in their fishbowl. I see this happen a lot. And it's not even a back home problem for me either. Trust me, these motherfuckers up here in Boston, shit, they got major fucking fishbowl mentality issues. Might even be the worst I've seen in my 6 different places of living. It actually cracks me up, but all right, let me give you an example. Call me Professor Reese today and let me enlighten your life. So, we all know these Boston, New England, whatever you want to call them, sound like a whole episode of Family Guy. What I mean by that is they don't pronounce their R's. So, they'll pronounce shit like, give me a ride in your car. That place is very far. Or, I'm going to go get drunk at the bar. Now, hear me out. There's nothing wrong with it. I think shit like that is cool because it's unique. That's the accent where you're from. Like, embrace it because that's how it should be. Everybody's different. But it's so funny because when I first got up here and I would just start to talk in general, meeting new people at work and shit like that. And we have conversations and da-da-da-da and, just getting into whatever. So it was just like a string of fucking times this shit would happen. And I just get hit with the, oh my God, you have an accent. I'm going to take a ride in my car. And it was bothering me at a point because, like, I'm the type of person who hates to answer the same question all the time, or I hate being asked a question more than once by different people because I'm pretty much doing the same thing, answering the same question all the time. So the question I had to always answer was, where you from? Or what part of the South you from? Or whatever assumption type question I had to answer. I hate answering the question more than once. Especially if I feel like you're trying to insinuate some shit about me. I'm like that nigga Biggest from the movie State Property 2. Remember when Nori, or El Pollo Loco, the nigga he played in the movie, and he said that his nigga Biggest hated to answer a question more than once and he always got pissed the fuck off. Like, he explained some shit to Dame and then Dame would like run it back to him and ask him, is that right? And he'd be like, what the fuck did I say, God? Yeah, that's me. Don't ask me shit more than once. I fucking hate it, especially when I break it down to preschool levels for you. So, naturally, when I'm getting asked this shit all the time, I was getting pissed. Like, it was bothering me. So, when I first started my job, I was petty. I even put a fucking sign up where, you got your name or whatever and your title. So, I put a fucking sign up under my shit to be an asshole that says in parentheses under my name, yes, I have an accent. This is Cleveland, Ohio kid. And yeah, that sign is still there, by the way. And I don't get asked as many questions. So apparently that worked. But maybe because this time went on and everybody talks. Because everybody talks about everybody in the office. And I usually start office gossip. But anyway, but with me telling you all of this, let's put it in perspective. In the small fishbowl mentality of the people of the good small state of Massachusetts, or the barely visible from the moon state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. Oh, you didn't know Rhode Island is officially called the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations? Yeah, that's a fact. Look it up. I told you I'm Professor Reese today. I'm enlightening your life. But anyways, if we go off just those states, then yes, it's true. I don't sound the same. But if we jump out of just those two states and we put it on a bigger scale, let's take the whole United States, the whole U.S. Let's jump out the fishbowl and into the big lake. If we did a poll or a questionnaire of whom a majority of the country sounds like, who would the people probably say? Me or the great people of New England? I'm going to vote, ding, 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 me, motherfucker. So hence the people of New England be like, oh, you got an accent, because they're only basing it on their fishbowl from where they're from environment. In a bigger way of thinking, if we include the scale of the whole country, I mean, it's really them who have the accent. Of course, nobody in the country sounds like their asses except every Family Guy motherfucker, Matt Damon, Wahlberg, and whoever else is from up in this bitch. But the point being, the world doesn't revolve around your small fishbowl. We have to look at the bigger picture with big binoculars on. Assholes. As I stated earlier, you can't come up with conclusions to things until you have all the variables. And to be clear, real quick, because I don't think I clarified, and I don't want any confusion because a lot of y'all will make an ass out of you and me, aka assume. This isn't to bash anyone because they didn't attend college or because you're from a certain area. As I've always stated, everyone lives their life differently and happily in their own way. There are lots of ways to be successful in life without college. You can learn a trade. You can teach yourself to code just with resources from the internet. You can get a CDL and drive trucks, make good money. You can go into railroading. They're hiring people all the time. Crazy lifestyle, but it pays great and has a good pension. There's lots you can do. The late great Steve Jobs, who was responsible for Apple and these computers, iPhones, iPads, all the shit we use, he didn't graduate from college. He might have attended and dropped in on some college courses, but technically no. He didn't graduate from college. Diddy didn't graduate from college either. So I'm not saying y'all are as smart as Steve Jobs or y'all gonna be the next Diddy, because I mean those are like once in a lifetime guys. Y'all not gonna be the next Steve Jobs or Diddy. And if you are, then you need to put your boy on. But my point is that you have to look at the bigger picture and not base your own conclusions based on only what you've seen. Do some research, read a book, look on the internet. Google is a great source, people. I use it every fucking day. You think I knew what a ichthyologist was before I chose to look it up after I decided I was going to talk about the fishbowl mentality? Fuck no. It's the study of fish. But I'm like, man, what's the word of that? I know there's got to be something. Ichthyologist. I'm not going to spell it for you. I'm not doing that much teaching. But yes, it's the study of fish. There are lots of cities and billions of people in the world to see, though. Instead of copping those new J's to try to impress these hoes in the club, catch a flight. Go visit a new city. And experiencing a new place and seeing new culture is priceless, and you learn a lot. You think if I didn't attend Hampton for college, I would have learned about how much they love this reggae up in Boston, or how they get hyphy in the Bay Area, or they even call the Bay Area the Yay area, or how LA and the Bay, they're in California, but they're that much different of places because they're 7 hours apart. I mean, you think without my first job moving me around, I would know that there's a major difference between a cheese steak and a steak and cheese? Damn, that shit just made me want to go back to Philly. I miss Philly, but no, fuck no. I wouldn't have known any of that shit. So, as I stated, everyone's situation is different. Let's get out of this small-minded mentality, this he said, she said bullshit, because all it is really doing is setting us back. The more we know, the more we grow. What them little white kids in that cartoon used to say, because knowledge is power. Well, that's the fucking truth. Who wouldn't want to do something to make themselves better? The world is a big place, and it's bigger than what you think it is. Let's make it happen. Professor Reese out. Thank you for listening to the FMFU podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to receive all the latest podcasts when they release. Also, be sure to follow FMFU on Twitter and Instagram at FMFU_podcast. Remember, people, if no one is going to be honest with you, your boy Reese will. And that's always. Until next time, fuckers.